Hello everyone, Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. We have another gigantic stack. So let's get to it, shall we? First up we have Bloodborne, The Bleak Dominion. They do these in 4-issue story arcs. This one's written by Cullen Bunn, artwork by Peter Kowalski. We last left our hunters and their apprentice in the caverns fighting monsters. Here we got giant spiders, we got giant rats, we got spiders with human heads, and some evil thing is trying to talk the apprentice into giving up his friends because his dead sister tells him to. So, yeah, it's cool. I like this one. We're saving that for last. I have things to do. This is Kaiju Cooking. It's a one-shot. There's the regular cover. There's the Japanese cover. See, the words are different. We have it story and art by Hiroshi Kanatani. Translation and lettering by Doug Dillon. And our young lady that runs a restaurant, a kaiju dies on it, and it looks like a cow anyways. Gets killed by some Ultraman guy. So she decides to, with the help of some nerds, kaiju nerds, chop him up into pieces. She hires a swordsman to chop all the chunks. And then she makes giant bowls of kaiju, kaurus. And then there's even a way to do the kaiju cooking. There's a recipe in here. I'm not really sure why this is a one-shot. This would be something that would be neat to have every month. Because they do the thing where you can use either kaurus meat. We don't have that, of course. Or beef. See? So it interchanges. This was a lot of fun and very cute. I like this a lot. Oh, we're not doing that one. All right. Here we go. Cap Wolf and the Howling Commandos. A while back, Captain America was a werewolf. A very long time ago. They're bringing that back. Writer is Stephanie Phillips. Artist is Carlos Magno. And we're doing Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos. And Nick gets messed up, so Cap really agrees to take the commandos behind enemy lines. Unfortunately, there are werewolves there, so as you know, it being Cap Wolf, he gets scratched by a werewolf and turns into a werewolf. That's not a shock for any of us. It's right on the cover. This is a lot of fun. Good old World War II Captain America. A little cockier than everyone's used to. Not very sedate, but ready to go in there and punch, and now he's ready to be a werewolf. I think this is a 5-issue limited series, so this is a lot of fun. No. Amazing Spider-Man at number 35. Look at Spider-Goblin. All right. Spider-Goblin. We have Zeb Wells as our writer. Patrick Gleason as our artist. Spider-Man got infected with the sins of Norman Osborn and is going on a rampage. Ready to just take out everybody. MJ, her husband Paul, the Red Goblin. Kraven shows up to help get the sins out of him with the special spear, and this is the new Kraven, so that's kind of cool. It wraps everything up kind of neat because we got Gang War coming up pretty soon, and Norman helped save the day, but there's a little bumper at the back where you're like, uh-oh. So Spider-Man's always a good time. Amazing Spider-Man. That's really the only Spider-Man I buy, except for Spider-Man India. Yay! Number 5. It's the last issue. Nikesh Shukla is our writer. Taidan Gyado is our penciler. Scott Hanna and Elizabeth D'Amico are our inkers for this. When last we left our Spider-Man, he was captured by their lizard and the big giant man that's trying to tear down the city and make everything all nice and pretty for everybody by gentrification, boys and girls. So... and it's cool. And at the end, he gets a whole new costume because he gets in a big enough fight that there's not a whole lot of his costume left. We're lucky this didn't wander off into R-rated. That's how much of his costume got destroyed. So his new costume looks like the movie. So that's kind of cool. And I hope they bring him back because this was a lot of fun. All right, let's see. Sonic the Hedgehog number 65. Look, it's Chaotix and Knuckles on the cover. That's right, folks. Let's see, we got 2 stories. So, Relic Robbing Rumble, Part 1, story by Ian Flynn, pencils by Mauro Fonseca, and inks by Rick Mack. Then we have Dinner at Cream's Party. Dinner at Cream's Part 1. Story is Evan Stanley. Art is Adam Bryce Thomas. So the bad guys show up to steal some stuff. The Babylon Rogues. Team Chaotic shows up. Cream the Rabbit shows up. Well, Cream's in the second story. But Knuckles is there to protect his stuff. And he is going berserk trying to stop the bad guys from taking his things. He even goes after Eggman. Eggman's like, are you kidding? I just take what I want. I wouldn't be sneaky about it. I'm Eggman. So that's a lot of fun. And then there's a dinner party. And they don't have enough butter. So Cream's mom goes out to get butter. And she's with the little Metal Sonic, Gemerald. I don't think that's Metal Sonic, though. It's Gemerald. But bad guys think they can rob the house. They don't know that there's a whole bunch of stuff in the house to stop them from doing that. So this was a lot of fun. Not a lot of Sonic. We got Knuckles. We got Cream. Good stuff. And, of course, because it's Halloween, we got, I say, Sonic the Hedgehog Halloween special. Yay! Very chaotic Halloween. Story by Mark Bouchard. Pencils Jack Lawrence. Inks are Matt Froze. And Chaotix are going to go trick-or-treating, but then a kid shows up with a case. Someone stole his candy. And apparently someone's stealing a lot of people's candy. So the Chaotix team up with Sonic and Tails. We get to see Tails' red airplane. You don't get to see that very often, so that's kind of cool. And they bust up the candy stealing ring and have to go make everything right in the land by making sure everyone gets some candy. It's a nice little Halloween issue. I like this a lot. This was fun. Alright. Project Cryptid 2 of 6. And we have Chupawawa is one of the first stories. It's Alyssa Quitney is the writer. Morissette is our artist. Then Diana Montalvan and the Ivory-billed Woodpecker. Alex Segura is our writer, and Steve Bryant is our artist. So, as you may guess, the first one is about chupacabras, and they're out in wherever the chupacabra hangs out, Texas, I do believe, Texas, Mexico, and this lady's chihuahua gets in a fight with a chupacabra. Come to find out that she wasn't hurt. She was in heat. So her puppies are a little unusual. The Ivory-billed Woodpecker I'd never heard of. It's sort of like an espionage story. Everyone's trying to keep the woodpecker for themselves because it's basically worth a fortune, but it really needs to go back to where it lives. So back to Cuba for that. So, and there was a prose story in here. I ain't reading it. I'm here for the comic books, kids. I'm here for the prose. Moon Knight number 4, City of the Dead. 4 of 5. Writer is David Pepose. Penciler is Marcello Ferreira. Inker is Jay Leistein. When last we left Mark Spector, he was facing his demons from reliving the first person he ever killed. And going through hell for it. The little kid that's in there that he's there to save is supposed to be a reincarnation of an Egyptian god. Mark has to fight his way through hell, basically, to try and save the kid. And this is the next to the last episode. Some good stuff. I really like the artwork in this one a lot. So that's kind of nice to have in a Moon Knight comic book. And a lot of psychological, interesting things, but Moon Knight's ready to wrap it up, as it were. And we might get more than one Moon Knight by the end. Some fun. Sergio Aragones is Gru in the Wild, number 3 of 4. Also, Sergio always gets a lot of help from Mark Evanier, who helps write it. Gru is looking for food. He also likes to fight armies. Sometimes it's hard to decide what he likes more, looking for food or fighting armies. And this ruler is doing things like wiping out all the animals, putting a dam in place to take away all the fishing downstream. And Gru is just happy to cause as much destruction as possible. And I always like this from Sergio, these giant one panel that's so busy. You can read it, but then you could probably come back and stare at this for about an hour if you want to pick out what everybody's doing. So Gru's there to save the people because Gru wants to fight and Gru wants to eat. And then on the back you always get a really funny Gru's dog Roberto, and he always has a one-page adventure on the back. Sometimes that's the best part of the book. All right, what do we got? Oh, I was happy to see this. This is Green Lantern number 4. Yes, that is the Flash you see on the cover. Yes, that is Barry Allen, the one true Flash. Get grief for that. Writer is Jeremy Adams. Artist is Xermanico. 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 And when last we left, Sinestro was after Green Lantern's ring. He said, "Give it to me or I will blow up this city." And so Green Lantern just popped it over to him. But this is a new Green Lantern ring. It's a one-user only ring. It did nothing for Sinestro. He wasn't happy about it. So he calls for some help because Sinestro's going to blow everything up. So he calls the fastest man on Earth to help him solve the case, as it were. And it was so nice to see Hal and Barry and Carol Ferris is there, and they get to do just some silly stuff. It's kind of Hal's having a good time being just Hal. There's a weird backup story with a little kid that thinks he's Sinestro's son. It's called Wayward Son Part 1. Peter J. Tomasi did the story. David LaFuente is the artist. And it's kind of funny because he has the same red skin, but he's a little boy. But when he goes out to cause damage, he puts a little marker mustache so it looks like Sinestro. He may or may not be Sinestro's son. We're still up in the dark about that. So this is a busy book. It was very fun, though. I was glad to see the guys back. All right, now you're in trouble. So they're doing Golden Age returns for DC. My favorite Golden Age superhero is Wesley Dodds as the Sandman. We get a 6-issue miniseries. Back in the day, there was a Vertigo title called Sandman Mystery Theater, and it was the adventures of Wesley Dodds fighting crime back in the day with his gas mask and his gas gun. Let's run down our guilty parties on this. We have our writer is Robert Venditti. Our artist is Riley Rossmo. Okay, so we get to keep a lot of the things. Wears the gas mask, fights crime. He's trying to find a way to not fight crime anymore and do something different. They mention a lot of his career. But, okay, so Sandman Mystery Theater went for a long time. There's 2 anthologies of it. The second one hasn't been released yet. They're both like this. They're tomes. They're giant books. And Wesley and Diane always look the same. Regardless of the artist, they try to make them look the same. He's a bit of a moon face. To be fair, a lot of people in the book got a bit of a moon face going on, which is fine. You get used to it after a while. So the artwork is too cartoony. Wesley looks like this lantern-jawed man. Diane is this pencil-neck waif of curviness. It's not what they look like. They also make a mention when he runs into in an event Rex Tyler, who is our man. In the Sandman Mystery Theater, he already knows Rex. So I'm not sure where this is going. And it's got to be going after Sandman's Mystery Theater because of what happens at the end. I'll just tell you. Wesley's house catches on fire. His big brownstone in New York catches on fire. So I don't know. I liked Sandman Mystery Theater. The Wesley Dodds character is great. I like that they kept the gas mask and things like that. The book is very, very comic booky, where the other Sandman Mystery Theater was not. Everything makes a sound effect. We could sit here for a minute and call them off, but I don't feel like it. Everything has the weird sound effect thing. Diane looks wrong. Wesley looks wrong. He's already met Rex Tyler, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Am I going to buy all 6 of these anyways? Yeah, I am. Because I'm a Sandman completist. That's just how it works. It's a sickness, kids. It's just what it is. I can't help it. So, this is a good book. It is not a good book for me. Will I still read them and tell you about them? Absolutely. I'm probably going to complain a lot. So, here, we'll do the thing that we do all the time. Oh, and the thing I didn't show you was it's a reprint of Moon Knight versus Werewolf by Night, because they fought each other a few times. It's a really big book for only $8, and you get a lot of really cool artwork and stuff. I read all these stories, but Martha wanted it, and I said absolutely. So we'll leave that out of the pile. I also don't read Venom. Martha reads Venom. And we'll go ahead and divvy them up. Sandman's a superhero. Green Lantern's a superhero. Gru is not a superhero. Moon Knight's a superhero. That's not a superhero book. Sonic the Hedgehog, you might consider a superhero, but I'm not counting him as a superhero. So there you go. Spider-Man India. Oh, we do. If I'm not going to read it, I'm not going to count it. Catwolf counts as a superhero. There, you're not a superhero. You're not a superhero. So non-superhero books. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 non-superhero books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a tie! Hooray! So, even Steven, I really would like to have less comic books per week, but it's not how it works. Next week it's supposed to be 7, unless we decide we're going to get the new Sensational She-Hulk. I don't know why they rebooted it, why they just didn't start with a new storyline and keep the... I know, because everyone wants issue 1. I get it. I get the concept. So, Sophie, Fiona, I have not seen you again this weekend. So, I don't know, we were going to do something, but then it rained all weekend, so bleh. Maybe next weekend, and then the weekend after that is Halloween, so we will definitely be doing something then. For the rest of you out there in comic book land, watching this on the YouTubes, look at those things, isn't that amazing? I tell you every week, go to the library. I've been reading a lot of library graphic novel collections. It's free. Remember to take them back. They don't want you to keep them. Go online, read comic books for free. If you like manga, read that. If you like superhero comic books, read that. If you like independent comic books, read those. There's so many titles. I go to Fanfare Comics and Cards, which is in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And by spending $5 a year, they give me 20% off all books that are brand new for the week. So that can come in handy when a giant thing that costs $100 shows up. They take $20 right off the top. See? Big giant books. So, like I always tell you, go read a comic book. I will see you next week with less comic books. Cross your fingers and go read a comic book.